Big news today coming out of Buffalo is Tyler Smith has told the Bulls that he will be transferring. He does not like the way he's been treated this season by Coach Williams. Hello everyone, this is LDJ11 Gaming. Welcome in today. The Bulls will be taking on Eastern Michigan, and we're going to see what they can do and what they're all about. But first, I actually want to go ahead and show you the Heisman because I didn't do that last week. So I'm going to lead with that today. It's Cody Galea from Notre Dame leading the way, followed by Dominique Bennett from North Carolina. And Michael Wright fell to number 3. He dominated us, but he got hurt, it looks like, in the last game. So we got to check and make sure he's not injured for a long period of time. James Roberts moves up to 4 from Stanford, and number 5 is Dalton Hamilton. As we switch over to the top 25, we're going to show you the coaches poll. We'll get into the college football playoff poll a little bit later on. We're going to hold that for a little while. Number 1 is Wisconsin. 2 is Texas A&M. 3 is Notre Dame. 4 is Stanford. 5 is Florida State. 6, North Carolina. 7, Georgia, who just lost to Florida. As a Gators fan in real life, that's awesome. Go Gators. Ohio State at number 8. 9 is Texas, and 10 is Nebraska. As you can see, I'm going to scroll through and show you some of the other teams. Michigan lost. They dropped from 8 to 13. You can see Rutgers is still hanging tough in the top 25 somehow. Houston, South Carolina, Miami of Ohio climbed into the top 25 with their big win over Akron. Army lost their second game of the season. Arkansas State moves into the top 25. And so did Air Force with their win over Army. And then 25 is Mississippi State. We'll look around at some other teams that dropped out. Iowa, Tennessee, San Diego State, Navy. And you can see in what order teams are fighting and how they rank right now and getting back into the top 25. We're going to jump into the injury report real quick and make the great reveal that Brian Romney, 6 weeks, he's done. I talked about it at the end of the last episode. He came in and he dominated last week, and he was going to be my starting quarterback for the remainder of the season. But broken ribs decided he was done. His ribs couldn't hold up, so we're stuck figuring it out and going from there. Big news today coming out of Buffalo is Tyler Smith has told the Bulls that he will be transferring. He does not like the way he's been treated this season by Coach Williams. He got into a fight in the locker room post-game with his receivers, Kemon Williams and Ryan Glad, after last week's loss, and they told him basically, they were saying that he wasn't as good as he thinks he is, and Tyler Smith got mad, and he pushed him, got into a fight, so he is currently off the team. We're done with him. He's going to transfer. We'll see where he ends up. So now your new starter, with Brian Romney being hurt and done for the season, is going to be sophomore redshirt Josh Taylor. We're going to see what he can do. He hasn't really been fantastic in his playing time in this, but, things happen, and Tyler Smith's off the team, and he's leaving. He hasn't been that great anyway, so this has been a tough season for the Bulls. They need to figure out this quarterback position fast. As the Bulls come running on the field, we'll see if they're fired up and ready to go today, because it has been a tough stretch for this Bulls teams after a solid 4-2 start. They have fallen apart, so let's see what they can do here. The Bulls have won the toss, and they've elected to receive the ball, so the Eagles kick it away to Dylan Johannesson as he takes it from about the 5-yard line. Right up the middle, he had a nice little gap. He gets 25 yards on his return. Coming out today to make his starting debut is sophomore redshirt Josh Taylor at quarterback. As he's going to hand it off to Justin Hill on his first carry, and he's going to power forward for 8 yards. Here on second down, Josh Taylor again hands it off to Justin Hill, who fights forward and gets a first down for the Bulls. Hopefully this is a sign of good things to come for this offense today. They're going to pull a little read option here on 1st and 10. Josh Taylor is not the quickest quarterback out there, but he gains 3 yards on the carry. Here on 2nd and 7, Josh Taylor throws a screen out to Ryan Glad, who can't break any tackles. He gains nothing on the play, and he got a big hit at the end of that from a defender of the Eagles. Josh Taylor drops back to pass here on 3rd and 7. That's almost intercepted by Nduli. As the Eagles come out to take over on their first drive, Fairchild's running read option with McNeil, and he hands it off to him. Kayvon McNeil has been a touchdown machine so far this year with 10. He has 810 yards on the season. He's been very good for the Eagles. Fairchild drops back to pass on second down, throws a quick screen out to Clary, who fights forward for a first down for the Eagles. Coming out with 3 receivers to the right. The Eagles on 1st and 10 are going to run read option again, it looks like, and hand it off to McNeil for 6 yards. This Eagles offense has been putting up just over 26 points a game. Let's see what the Bulls defense can do as they pitch it out to McNeil on 2nd and 4, and he's wrapped up and took down by Thomas Turner. Great play. 3rd and 2, this is a key down and a critical down for this Bulls defense. They need to stop the Eagles as they're going to hand it off to Kayvon McNeil up the middle, and he gets the first down and 5 yards. Coming out here on 1st down, Fairchild hands it off to Lewitt Jen, who gains 4 yards on the carry. 2nd and 6, 2 tight ends. Let's see what they do. Probably a run, as it's a straight QB power by Fairchild. He gets hit by Seth Weischer and taken down for just a 1-yard gain. Fairchild back to pass here on 3rd and 5. He's looking, he has a little pressure. He's almost intercepted, but it's not caught. What a great play by Patrick Haynes, though, to end this drive. Bulls take over after a relatively short punt here on 1st and 10. From about the 32-yard line, Taylor hands it off to Justin Hill, who fights forward and gains 3 yards on the play. Coming out here on 2nd down, Josh Taylor dropping back to pass. He throws it out to Keemon Williams, who drops it. He had the ball in his hands, and he dropped it. Coming out here on 3rd and 7, Josh Taylor looks like they're going to throw a screen out to Justin Hill. Nobody blocks. They run straight by number 51, and he wraps him up for a 3-yard loss, ending this drive. Taking over after a decent punt at about the 30-yard line, it's the Eastern Michigan Eagles sending their number 2 tight end in motion here across the field. McNeil takes the carry as Seth Weischer runs across the field and wraps him up and takes him down after Patrick Haynes misses the tackle. Eskridge again goes in motion for the Eagles. Are they going to run it to the right? No, this time they're going to drop back the pass, and Fairchild hits Bailey short for 6 yards, and he looks like he's hurt on the play. We'll have to check in and see what happened to him. Coming out here on 1st and 10, Kayvon McNeil gets another carry. Seth Weischer wraps him up and takes him down after just 4 yards. 2nd and 6, Fairchild again, handing it off to Kayvon McNeil. Seth Weischer comes down, gets run over this time, but Thomas Turner follows it up with a great tackle in the open field. This Bulls team has to find a way to stop the run. They have struggled all season with this. Again, Lewitt Jen gets the carry, and he pushes and fights forward for 4 yards on the play. Lewitt Jen remains on the field on 2nd and 6 as they send Eskridge out in motion wide. Fairchild's back to pass, and they hit a wide open Clary for 13 yards and an Eagles first down. Coming out here on 1st and 10 as the first quarter's running down, Eskridge goes in motion. Fairchild again hands it off to Lewitt Jen. He cannot break around the corner as Thomas Turner wraps him up for just a 1-yard gain. Eastern Michigan, as we've seen that injury to Bailey, it's going to end his game. He has a concussion. Hopefully he heals up all right. As this time, the Eagles send their top tight end in motion as Fairchild gets hit and sacked in the backfield, taken down on the play by Terrence Hunt. What a great play. Coming out here on 3rd and long, this is a big play for the Bulls defense. Fairchild back to pass. He's looking, little pressure. He ends up checking it down to Kayvon McNeil. They wrap him up. And at the end of 1, it is 0-0. However, the Eagles are set up in prime field goal position on this 4th down. We'll see what they do coming out of the break. And they're lining up to attempt to take the 3 points here to open up the 2nd quarter. We'll see what the Eagles can do. When they do snap it, snaps good, holds good, kick, stays inside. 3-0 Eastern Michigan. Kicks away. Johanneson's going to take it from about the 5-yard line, maybe the 4-yard line. He breaks the first tackle, but he gets hit and wrapped up. He hasn't been very dynamic returning kicks. We might need to find somebody else to put back there. Coming out here on 1st and 10, Taylor play action. He has a man wide open. He hits Justice Hopkins, who fights forward for 20 yards. Josh Taylor hasn't been dynamic in the passing game. However, he's done enough to keep this ball moving forward as he hands it off to Justin Hill on 1st and 10, and he gains 8 yards on the carry. Coming out here on 2nd and 2, Josh Taylor. He's going to check it down to Dalton Alexander. And what happened there? Keemon Williams completely missed that block. He probably could have gained another 10 yards had Keemon Williams made his block. That's what's frustrating with this Bulls team as we're coming out here on 1st and 10. They don't seem to play as a good unit on offense. As he hits Keemon Williams for 19 yards. Great throw, great read by Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor coming out here with the Bulls, moving the ball well. On 1st and 10, read option. He pulls it again on read option. Only picks up 2 yards. As I said, he's not the most athletic man out there, but it's good to see the Bulls try to keep that in their system. 2nd and 8, Josh Taylor back to pass again as he's looking for a man, and he gets hit as he releases it. It didn't look like anybody was open anyway, so that's probably the best result. Coming out here, 3rd and 8, Josh Taylor back to pass. He's rolling to the right. He's going to hit Ryan Glad, who gets it knocked out of his hands. I don't know if he had enough for the first down anyway, though. Bulls are going to come out and attempt the field goal on 4th and 8, and they nail it, tying this game at 3. Thomas takes the return here from about the goal line. He gets blown up by Jefferson, our 4th corner, if I recall correctly. 1st and 10 here. Eskridge going in motion again. They hand it off to Kayvon McNeil. He gets wrapped up for just 2 yards. Again, looks like they're going to hand it off to Kayvon McNeil, who gets hit in the backfield, and he only gains 1 yard on that play. This Bulls defense seems to be stepping up a little bit after some early struggles. McNeil's going to go in motion out wide. Looks like they're going to go back and pass on 3rd and 6. Fairchild, he's intercepted by J.R. Henry. And J.R. Henry has a chance to take this one back to the house. Can he beat Fairchild? He fumbles it into the end zone and gives the ball back to Eastern Michigan. What a terrible ending to this wonderful play. Oh my gosh. He just dropped it. Why is the band playing right now? 1st and 10, Eagles. That should have been a touchdown. That could have been a game changer for the Bulls. They hand it off to Lewitt Jen, who's got a huge gap on the right. He's got to try to beat Thomas Turner, and he cannot beat Thomas Turner. 23 yards on the carry, though. 1st and 10, Lewitt Jen gets a 2nd straight carry. This time he gets out wide. He gets around the corner, stiff arms J.R. Henry, and gains 7 yards. 2nd and 3, Fairchild back to pass. He's going to hit Twitty here for 3 yards, setting up a 3rd and inches. Can this Bulls defense step up? They came out in essentially a goal line formation to try to stop Kayvon McNeil, and they can't do it still. He gets the yard necessary to pick up a 1st down for the Eagles. 1st and 10, Fairchild again hands it off to Kayvon McNeil, who has a gap up the middle, and he gains 11 yards and another Eagles 1st down as they're driving. They're going to send Grabaski in motion. Fairchild play action. He's looking to pass this ball. He hits Kayvon McNeil with nobody over there covering him. He picks up 12 and another 1st down for the Eagles. Fairchild again. Read option this time. He pulls it. He's running down the sideline. Can he get into the end zone? It's going to be close. He fights forward for 6 for the Eagles as they take the lead 9-3, pending the extra point. With that extra point going through, it's a 10-3 game. Dylan Johanneson's going to take it from about the 10-yard line. He has a chance up the sideline. Can he beat this man? He weirdly steps back way too early and gets 44 on what was a great return. This Bulls team comes out here on 1st and 10. They have to find a way to generate some big plays as they have struggled all day. Josh Taylor, he's loading up and going deep to Ryan Glad, and that's broken up. Coming out here on 2nd and 10, Josh Taylor again back to pass. He's going to hit Keemon Williams for probably a 1st down and 10 yards. Josh Taylor hands it off to Justin Hill on 1st down for 8 yards. Justin Hill's had a pretty solid day with 5 carries for 30 yards on the day. We'll see if he can continue his strong performance on 2nd and 2. Josh Taylor back to pass. He checks it down to Justin Hill, who gets a 1st down and 6 yards on the reception. This Bulls team's driving. Will they be able to answer back for the Eagles? answer back the Eagles' touchdown drive as Justice Hopkins makes the catch and takes it 12 yards for another Bulls first down. Coming out here, as it looks like the Bulls are slowing it down, trying to take the clock to maybe not allow Eastern Michigan to be able to respond. Taylor snaps the ball with just 1 second left on the play clock. He had an open man, but he couldn't get the pass away in time once he spotted him. Coming out here on 2nd and 10, Josh Taylor hands it off to Justin Hill, who fights forward for a gain of 5, setting up a 3rd and 5, and the Bulls can still get a first down at about the 1.5 yard line. 3rd and 5 here inside of the 10-yard line. Taylor just throws it away instead of taking the sack. I would have preferred he take the sack so the Bulls could drain the clock some more. As they're setting up for the field goal here, and it goes right down the middle. And it cuts the Eagles' lead to just 4 as we're approaching halftime. Can they put a drive together to finish the first half? 1st and 10, Fairchild back to pass. Thomas Turner comes through on the blitz. He gets away, but he's wrapped up from behind, limiting the gain to just 7 yards, as they're going to have to move quick if they want to get points here. I mean, they called a timeout. They check it down to Guthrie. He gets hit, breaks the first tackle, but J.R. Henry takes him down, forcing them to likely use it. They are not going to use another timeout. They're going to let the clock keep running. Maybe they're going to give up. They're not. Fairchild back to pass. He tucks it. He has some pressure in his face. He gets hit from behind by Devon Hollier as the Eagles take their 2nd timeout. 39 seconds left in this half, and they probably have to go 35 yards or so to hit a field goal. Fairchild back to pass. He just checks it down to Kevon McNeil, who breaks the tackle of J.R. Henry and pushes forward for 15 yards. They got to move quick here in hopes that they can get into the end zone or at least field goal position. I'm guessing they have to get to about the 25-yard line to be able to hit a field goal. Fairchild back to pass. There's a blitz. He cannot escape Kailani, who takes him down for a 3-yard loss and keeps this clock running. Eastern Michigan has to get moving here. They're only going to have maybe 2 plays left. They need to get down to about the 25-yard line. He gets hit as he releases it, and Eskridge gets wrapped up immediately by J.R. Henry across the middle. 6, 5, 4. This is probably the last play of the half here. Will the Eagles get a chance at 6? They will not. They'll throw it short, and Matt Cleary falls out of bounds, ending the first half with a 21-yard reception. 10-6 is your score at halftime. Eastern Michigan leading the way. Let's see if this Bulls offense can wake up in the second half. And a quick look at your Bulls player stats. Josh Taylor's 8 for 15, no turnovers yet, 53% completion percentage. Not bad for his first career start. Justin Hill's been pretty solid on the ground, averaging 5.8 yards a carry, but we just don't have enough offensive plays and carries altogether to really push this team and make them explosive. We need to hold the ball more and extend some drives. Receiving-wise, there's nothing too impressive really going on. Keybon Williams, 2 for 29, and Justice Hopkins, 2 for 32. Ryan Glad, he's been shut out lately. They need to find a way to get him going again. And on defensive side, J.R. Henry leads the way with 8 tackles, followed by 7 for Seth Weischer and 6 for Thomas Turner. TFLs go to Terrence Hunt and Mayu Kailani, and both of those were our 2 sacks. And our 1 interception went to J.R. Henry, where he foolishly fumbled it into the end zone, killing any Bulls possible momentum early. And to open up this second half, the Bulls are going to kick it away. This defense is going to need to get another stop here. As Thomas takes the return. Oh, he has a chance, and then he gets hit and probably ripped down by his face mask by the looks of it. And it was a face mask by Kailani when he took him down. Oh, that was Taylor Brown. It looked like it was Kailani. Starting out with excellent field position to begin the second half. Eastern Michigan comes out and hands... Oh, it's read option. Fairchild pulls it. He has a lead blocker out front, but he gets blown up by Patrick Faranock. 2nd and 4. They're going to send Eskridge in motion again. Fairchild back to pass. He hits Rippey on the short completion of 6 yards. Fairchild back to pass. He hits Rippey, who's oddly cutting it way in and only gains 7 yards on the play. 2nd and 3 here. They're going to send a man in motion over to the right. Another handoff to Kevon McNeil, who gets hit and wrapped up by Haynes in the backfield. What a wonderful play by Patrick Haynes. 3rd and 7. This is an important down for the Bulls. They need to get off of the field here. Fairchild's going to roll to the left looking. He checks it down to Heineke, who breaks Terrence Hunt's tackle and then gets blown up. But he has just enough for the Eagles to gain another first down. Fairchild, read option, pulls it this time. He has a gap. He gets by a few defenders until Seth Weischer wraps him down after a 15-yard run. Eskridge moves in motion to the right. There's a good chance they're going to run it here. And that's what they do. And their defense knew what was coming. Devon Hollier wraps him up. Combined with, I don't know who number 91 is off the top of my head. Fairchild again hands it to McNeil. He's going to get hit and wrapped up. Seth Weischer with first contact. J.R. Henry finishes it. 3rd and 11. Looks like they're coming out in 3 wide. Pistol formation. Fairchild looking deep. He's going to throw the quick screen over to Clary, and he has no shot. He is wrapped up and taken down for just a few yards, setting up a 4th and 7. About a 34-yard field goal is going to go wide left. He missed it. What a break for the Bulls. Taking over after that missed short field goal, Justin Hill gets to carry, breaks tackle, and fights forward for 9 yards. This Bulls team needs to find their rhythm on offense. They have struggled to get it going. Josh Taylor is going to roll out to the right, and he doesn't get anything. They're going to call it a sack because he just got back to the line of scrimmage. We are 0 for 4 on 3rd down. 0 of 4 on 3rd down. You heard that correctly. The Bulls need to find a way to start extending these drives. As Dalton Alexander makes the catch, breaks a couple tackles, and fights forward for a wonderful 14-yard reception and a Bulls first down. Josh Taylor, read option on first down. He pulls it and gets whacked for a 1-yard loss. Coming out here on 2nd and 11. Taylor's going to hit a wide open Ryan Glad, who gets blown up when he made that catch. Luckily, he appears to be okay, and he's able to stay in the game, but that was a huge hit coming out on 1st and 10, handing the ball off to Justin Hill, who cuts, and he cannot break the tackle, but he gets 7 yards. Going in motion, Justin Hill still gets to carry, and he fights forward for 10 yards. He does take a pretty big shot at the end of it. This Eagles defense seems to be pretty hard hitting. 1st and 10, Josh Taylor again back to pass. He checks it down to Singleton, who just barely has the chance to make that catch and gets 10 yards, setting up a short 2nd down play. Taylor hands it off to Johannesson, getting his first carry of the game, and he fights forward for 6 yards and a Bulls first down. Hill checks back into the game. He gets the carry. He cuts it. He fights forward. He fought hard to get them 6 yards. Taylor back to pass. He's got a man wide open. Keemon Williams takes that in for 6 as I knock my headset off. That's a Bulls lead. 13-10's the score here, with the Bulls leading near the end of the 3rd quarter. Can Eastern Michigan respond? They had a pretty solid return there by Bryce Thomas. 1st and 10, Fairchild hands it off to Kayvon McNeil, who cuts it right, and he gets probably 7 yards on that. Nice running. This Bulls defense needs to get tougher up front. That's very apparent. They are getting blown off of the line of scrimmage consistently. McNeil, again, big gap for 7 yards. And I would adjust the sliders, but I know our overall up front's not that great, so we shouldn't be dominating this matchup. As Fairchild again hands it off to McNeil, and this time he gets around the edge and runs over 2 men and keeps going down the sideline for 26 yards until Hunt chases him down from behind. I mean, I'm going to show this replay. Look at this. He just comes, and you got, it looks like, who's that, Henry? No, Haynes and Turner here, and he just runs through both of them and continues down the sideline. What a great Great carry. What a run there by Kayvon McNeil. They're going to send a guy in motion here over to the right. Twitty as Fairchild throws it quick to Garboski, who drops it. Thankfully, setting up a 2nd and 10. This Bulls defense lacks talent, and it shows. And it's shown all season as Fairchild. He gets wrapped up and taken down by Haynes. Wonderful play by Haynes on that. He busts through the lead blocker and still makes the play. Here at the end of 3, it is 13-10 Bulls as they continue to fight forward in this game in their hopes of maybe getting bowl eligible this season. They're looking for win 5 that'll put them just 1 away. Hold up them 4s, Bulls. Eastern Michigan, great field position on 3rd and long. As Fairchild's going to throw it deep, but Turner makes a wonderful play. He makes up all sorts of ground to get over there and knock that pass down. They're going to attempt a field goal from about the 37-yard line. That's going to be a long one, and he misses that one too to the right. He had the leg, I think, but he just didn't have the accuracy. 1st and 10 Bulls, they have a chance to pull away in this game, as Josh Taylor wildly underthrows that to Ryan Glad on the move. The Bulls really just need to keep pushing forward with their identity here and run the ball and just try to take the lead as Justin Hill gets the carry. He gets around the edge. He has a chance. He breaks the tackle. He cannot beat number 22, who does just enough to knock him down on the sideline. What a run, Justin Hill. 1st and 10, Justin Hill gets another carry. He had nice cutting right up the middle, and that should put him over 100 yards on the day if I'm not mistaken. And it does. That's 12 carries for 107 yards for our star running back. We need to keep going through him and keep this ball moving. And maybe, just maybe, the Bulls can break their 20-point average threshold today. Johannesson gets this carry. He has a shot. He's up the middle. He cannot beat number 35. However, he had a great carry for 20 yards. Johannesson remains in the game, and it looks like maybe this Eagles defense is getting tired as he goes up the middle again untouched until he gains 7 yards, and he gets down at probably the 1-yard line. Hill checks into the game here on 2nd and goal from inside of the 1-yard line as Stevens goes in motion. Hill gets the carry. He cuts it in. Touchdown, Bulls. Thomas takes the return here as the Eagles really need to respond on this drive to have any chance remaining in this game. And Thomas gets hurt at the end of that play. We'll have to see how he is. So the question is, will the Eagles have to change up? They try to throw a quick screen, and Clary gets hit for a 4-yard loss. Great play by Dotson on that. Looks like Thomas, their kick returner, should be able to return to the game in no time. He should be okay. 2nd and 14, though, as they're getting into more of a drop-back game, and Fairchild tries to scramble. He has nowhere to go. J.R. Henry wraps him up and takes him down for the sack. 3rd and 16 coming up. Bulls come out with just 3 down linemen. Are they going to drop 8 guys back in coverage? They handed off to Kayvon McNeil on a draw. That didn't work unless they were setting up to go for it on 4th down. I guess we'll find out. Bulls take over here, 1st and 10. They hand it off to Justin Hill, and he actually has some blockers and a chance. He gets down the sideline for 10 yards. 1st and 10, Josh Taylor looks like he's dropping back to pass. He has a man wide open. He got Marquez Singleton for 21 yards. Hopkins going in motion here. Are they going to get snap off in time? They do. Just in time to throw it quick out to him. He breaks the tackle. He cuts. He gets 4 yards on that play. Josh Taylor leading this offense has been pretty good today as he throws the quick screen out to Keemon Williams, who has nowhere to go and loses 1. Looks like they're running a cover 1 here. Taylor has a chance to hit Ryan Glad for 6, and he does. He put that right on the money. What a play by Ryan Glad. We better make sure he got that foot down, though. That looked kind of close live as Taylor just hits him. He put that right on the money. I can't tell from this angle. We'll have to see if they review it. And there's no review as the extra point's up and good, extending this lead. Following the kick, the Eagles take over down 17 points now as the 4th quarter's coming to a close. Can they get back into it as Celeste Fairchild continues to just check it down? He does not want to throw it deep, and I have no idea why, as he has 8 yards to Matt Clary. 2nd and 2. They're sending Guthrie in motion to the right. And they're letting the clock drain. They need to get their snap off. What are they doing? Fairchild feeling the pressure. Throws it quick out to Eskridge for 2 yards, setting up a 3rd and inches situation. Bulls here on 3rd and inches. They have a chance to again shut the door on the Eagles. What will they do? Fairchild hands it off to McNeil, who gets hit. And he fights through the tackle. He has a chance to go all the way. He broke about 3 tackles on that. 4 tackles. He gets tripped up and finally taken down after 41 yards. That was a tough run by Kayvon McNeil. 3, 4, you could call that a close 4, but that's 4 tackles. And then he's finally taken down. What a run. The Eagles need to hurry up and get going quick here if they want any shot of getting back in this game. Fairchild back to throw. He has to throw it deep. He gets, oh, I thought that was going to be picked by Jeremiah Ingram, but he dropped it. Fairchild drops back to pass. He throws it short to Grabaski, who fights forward for 9 yards, but that's not really helping the Eagles out here. Looks like the Bulls are sending some pressure, and they can't block it, so they throw it up. Picked off. Game over, Micah Dotson. Game over. Bulls win 27-10. What a day for the Bulls. This is exactly the type of game they needed after this tough stretch in which they were getting blown out. J.R. Henry's your player of the game with 11 tackles, a TFL, a sack, and an interception. Although he had that boneheaded fumble when it should have been a 6-point play. All right, we're going to take a look at some stats from today's game. Josh Taylor in his first career start was fantastic. He played better than he did when he came in relief. Maybe he just needed the week leading up to its practice. He went 16 of 24 for 166 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He hit on 66% of his passes. That's fantastic. Justin Hill had 18 rushes for 167 yards and a touchdown. Dylan Johannesson checked in with 5 for 43. They couldn't stop us running. We should have probably run it more. Keemon Williams took 4 catches for 35 yards and a touchdown. Ryan Glad, 3 for 33, and that one nice touchdown to really pull us away in this game. Justice Hopkins took 3 for 36. Singleton had 2 for 31, 2 for 28 for Dalton Alexander. And then Justin Hill, just a couple short catches. Defensively, J.R. Henry, 11 tackles, 9 for Seth Weischer, 7 for Thomas Turner. TFLs, 2 for Patrick Haynes, 1 for Sean Greenberg. That's who number 91 was. I didn't know who that was. I'll admit that. He's our backup defensive end. I couldn't think of his name in the moment. Terrence Hunt had 1, 1 for J.R. Henry. Kealani had 1, and Micah Dotson had 1. Sacks go to Terrence Hunt, Malu Kealani, and J.R. Henry. Interceptions go to J.R. Henry, in which he fumbled it going into the end zone. I'm still not letting him live that down. And Micah Dotson, who had 1 as well. That sealed the game. As we flip it over to the Eagles here, their quarterback, Celeste Fairchild, he had 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He had a great completion percentage, but he seemed to be afraid to throw the ball downfield because every time he did, he turned it over. As he finished 18 of 24 for just 132 yards. Rushing, Kayvon McNeil was amazing. He was fantastic. 19 for 138, 10 for 46, and a touchdown for Fairchild. And their backup, Trayton Lewitt-Jen, checked in, and he added 5 for 39 on the ground. Receiving, Clary took 5 for 51, but really their stats were not that impressive. They spread the ball around, but not many deep shots. Defensively, Darian Hall led them, their safety, with 10 tackles, followed by Ryan Briganani, a free safety with 8. 6 for another safety in Dooley. You see the trend here? That is crazy. Corner, Bryce Thomas follows that. And then finally somebody that's not in the secondary. TFLs went to Nduli, Buhari, Hall, Cowart, Sacks. The 1 went to Cowart, and they didn't have any interceptions in this game. And I do have to show their kicking because they did miss 2 field goals. Brett Moss. One was between 30 and 39 yards, and the other one was between 40 and 49, and he missed that one as well. Following that big win over Eastern Michigan, the Bulls are going to be playing the Akron Zips next week. They're 6-3. They are a better team than us if you look at their overalls. Lee's going with them as well. He thinks they're going to be able to beat us. They have 16 total visiting prospects, so it is an important game for them. Their offense, however, is worse than ours. They're only averaging 18.8 points per game. Their yards per game are less than us, so we have a good shot for maybe a defensive rebound in this game, hopefully. And our defense is essentially the same as their defense, at least as far as yards and all that go. The biggest thing that's different is we are worse than nation with a minus 13-point differential. That's terrible. We need to find a way to improve, and that's why we're losing games. So hopefully Josh Taylor can continue to play well and not turn the ball over and prove that he can be our starter, since Tyler Smith is no longer with the team and he's going to transfer away. Maybe we'll see him again someday. But this is LDJ11 Gaming. Thank you very much for your time watching the video. I appreciate you. Please like, and I do ask, please subscribe to the channel and give me a shot to keep entertaining you. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need, what you need. We're broken, it's tragic, we're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic, believe you could have it.